Hey y'all, so welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to actually groom Maxwell. I'm here teaching their new family how to groom them so they can take care of it themselves. We will have this whole video on Maxwell. Thank you, buddy. Thanks.
If you don't already use NuVet, be sure to click the link in the description or use our code to order. I have another video coming about why we love NuVet and the benefits of using the great supplement.
The first thing that we'll start with is I'll just make sure that he's brushed out again because he went and ran around.
Oh, do you need any more light behind you or anything like that?
No, I think it's perfect. I brought this little one so that I could have lighting. And I'll just make sure he's... So since he's so long and we're going to do the clipper, I'm just going to take off some hair. So all I do is I start right here at his neck. I'm going to prep him, make sure he's not going to freak out on me. Oh, no, he did a good job. And I want him to stand up because that way I can get the most even cut. And then I'm just going to go down. So it's still going to leave him quite a bit of hair. And then we can always go shorter, but you have to let it grow out if you take too much off. And then on the legs, I just come down to the legs and I just kind of scoop it out this way. So that way I can scissor trim that and they don't end up super skinny. And then you just go over it a few times. Because as the hair resettles, you're going to take off just a little bit more so that it all ends up the same length. And these combs are really handy for that, so you can... Oh yeah. And then in the belly, I just kind of go in. He's a boy, so you just want to be aware of where he is. And it just kind of takes out that body there. And you just go with the way that the hair grows, so just like this. And that's it from here. You just scoop it out. So what do you think? Is that still long enough? Okay, good. Oh yeah, see the tangle now. So then anywhere that you have these little tangles or mats, that's where this thing comes in handy. Kind of showed you a little bit earlier. Then it has this little thumb thing. So since it's right here, the hair gets me every time. This is why I have hypoallergenic dogs, right? So I'm just gonna find it again because I lost it. There it is. And I want to kind of show you. So it's right here. So I'm just gonna stick my comb in. And I'm not pulling it forward. I'm just catching it. Because this is usually not a... And then right here, I'm just grabbing him at the base of the tail to help him stand up. You don't want to pull up high because that'll hurt him. But at the base, it just kind of holds him at the hips, basically. But he's not... I can try here, too. Sometimes if they don't stand, I'll do this. And I just want to loosen this here a little bit. And then see, it just pops right out without pulling on them and causing any problems. And I'll just brush out anything that's left. Sometimes if there's any little, I don't know if you can see that little, tiny little hairs are coming out. It just makes life so much easier. So they just pop right out. It's so nice. Okay. So that's all. Trash can.
Let me leave it in here.
Yeah, just if you'll just slide it underneath my table here, and I'll just sweep stuff into there as I get another little burr. Is it a burr or is it be the... I'm so happy we won't have them anymore. Oh, you okay? So same thing, then I'll just do all the paws. Just grab. Oh yeah, it's hard. It's a hard life. And I'm just scooping it and then exposing all of this pad. And for the front, it's easier to just stay behind them and then just flip it back just like this. And then you kind of have like control over them as well because your arm's underneath them. I know, but we gotta deal with this hair here. You don't want to walk? Huh? You're gonna be so fast now, so you'll be able to grip the ground. I don't know if your mom wants you faster. this one just kind of comes out. Same thing, I put my hand at the top and then I just kind of slide down to grab all the hair let's not fall, buddy. There we go. You're okay. I know. So then he has nice little paws exposed. And then I don't mind using this one, but typically I like to use these like smaller plastic one to do like the sanitary area. His is pretty good, but the hair that kind of covers the hole is what we want to take off. So what I do again is I hold them at the base of the tail so I can kind of control where their hips are moving. And this won't hurt them because if you grab up here, that's when you're gonna get a dog that yelps or something. So then with this one, I'm actually just I'm gonna trim off the top and I'm just going right next to it. You don't wanna go over it because there's no hair that grows over it. I'm just investigating it. So what is this? And I'm just going right next to it. And you don't have to like shave it completely off, but just kind of take off any hair that's in the way because that's what poop will get stuck to and then it'll get stuck there. And then the front, I usually stand them like this. Look how much hair you have. Actually, let's do, I'm gonna be there. Be a good boy, stay there. So you stand them up. And then same thing, you'll go with the way that the hair grows. And you usually get a lot better view. You just stand them up a little bit. Same thing, if you find another mat, just kind of stick here. And this is a lot easier on them than, he's still a little sensitive about it, but oh, he's more sensitive about me holding him.
Let me know if you need me to do anything.
Okay. So just run it through a few times and then you'll see this. Oh, sorry. You don't like your belly touch? Oh, yeah. You don't like your belly touch, huh? Are you sensitive about your belly? Yeah, look, we took it out. See? He's like, what are you doing? And right here we can see we still have some like long hair. This is what we'll go back over and take it down to match the rest of his body. The tail I never touch. Occasionally if you like lift it up and you notice like hair's falling in the way, because typically it's still up like that. If it's not falling the way, I wouldn't touch it. Or sometimes if it just looks uneven, you can kind of twirl it at the end here and just kind of like cut it off at an angle. But his is perfect, we don't need to mess with it. Still growing out. And then the ears, we will do with the head, but I just want to look at them, make sure there's nothing. You can just kind of sniff them, that's kind of weird, but make sure they don't have any like odor or anything. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have. You want to make sure they don't have any like little balls in there. I don't pluck the hair unless it has like something in it that needs to come out. Otherwise, hair is completely normal for it to be in their ear. It's actually protective of their ear so stuff doesn't fly in there. And his is really good. So we'll just trim off anything that's long and I'll show you how we do that in a second. But I like to look at this point because his ears are still drying, so it's easy to look around. So same thing, we'll just pass over a few more times. Kind of take out. Ideally, I want him to be standing up. I hope I'm talking loud enough for this. I feel like I yell when I do normal videos. I know. You're so over it already, huh? You're so over it? What else? Sometimes it feels like you're doing it 100 times, but the more times you pass over it, the smoother it's gonna get. And then for the eyes, what I do is, I'm sorry, did I scare you? Did I move you too fast? So I kind of hold them underneath. It's not, it kind of looks like you're choking them out, but you're just kind of putting your hand here so you can kind of tilt their head. But there's a lot of space under here. You're not gripping them like that. So I'm just gonna put my hand underneath him like this. And then I'm gonna come right next to his eye to clean out this hair that's poking him in the eyeballs. Some people, like I said, like to let it grow out so that they can put like product on it and it sits down, but I've just never had enough patience to get to that point. So again, I'm just gripping him right at the jaw. No, you're not gonna let me? So if they give me a hard time, then I'll try this method. Nope. Can't go off the back end, buddy. Okay, let's do your ears then. That's something we can do easy. So then for the ears, I'm gonna move on from the eyes because he's not liking it. Okay, back on with the lead if they're gonna fight like this because you don't want them to fly off the table. So this is gonna keep them from backing up too far. And you want it just a little bit taut so that it won't let them go off the table. So again, I'm gonna try my same method here. I know, because you're moving a lot. I don't want you to go off the end, okay, buddy? And then I'll use the soft end. Oh, really? You're gonna move for every little thing? Huh? No. So again, same thing. It's his first groom, so he's gonna need to get used to it. And it's gonna be like the blow dryer. We're just gonna have to. It feels like you do it 1,000 times until they finally like, okay, fine, you're gonna do it anyway. And then they'll just get used to it. I don't want to shave off your snout, bro. Oh, did I answer that? It's a lot of repetition in the beginning. And I figured that's why I wanted to start with him. That's when I have the most patience. So I can, okay, we can do this a million times. You're fine. See? See? There you go. We just want to clean this out so you don't have stuff in your eyeballs. Then I'll just come and I'll just touch him here so he gets an idea that I'm not harming him here. I'm just in this eye area that he finds more sensitive. And what I know, yeah, because you're pulling back like that. Sit forward like this. Let's see if you're a scissor guy. Oh, okay, you're a scissor guy. All right, we can do scissors. We can do scissors. Let's just see what it is. You just don't like that vibrating, huh? You'll get used to it. That's how you can look handsome. So he was a scissor guy. So if scissors work better, sometimes do scissors. Clipper's easier because you can get a nice even. Typically it's just like a bzz, bzz, and it's done. Then for his little face, I'm just gonna comb this down. I'm not gonna take off really anything. I'm just gonna kind of even out the ends. So I'm just gonna comb, I flip the ear back so I know that their ear's not in the way. And I'm just gonna comb this down here. He's so over everything I'm doing. Oh, I know. Okay, well if you just look this way, we're good. We'll call it even, all right? And then I'm just, if he'll pick a spot to stay still. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll get paid in kisses after. Thanks. Thanks. You're so handsome. Okay, let's see. You like the brush. So all I'm doing is really just whatever's kind of jagged here, I'm just gonna give him a nice clean line without taking off any length really. I'm just, you're funny. You know that? We're just making you look handsome. More handsome, I guess. Yeah. That was good. And then the ear, you're just gonna kind of comb out. As I get more hair and it's more even, right now it's still like trying to grow all to the same length. You're just kind of cleaning up around the edges. So I'll just lift the ear up like this. And then whatever's kind of sticking out, I don't know how difficult that is for you to see. Sir, thank you. And I'm just kind of curving the ear. So anything that's kind of sticking out. So he just kind of has like a nice curve here on his ear because it'll get more even hair, so it'll lay to his side. And then wherever his little jawline that I gave him, I'm gonna put my fingers, so if the hair grows here, I'm gonna put my fingers here and cut under here. So the ears are just a hair longer than their face. So, and it just kind of trims off the ends. So it's very little hair that's coming off, but it makes it a shape. And same thing, I'll just comb his hair down on his ear. And then right to where my line is. And with the ear, it's pretty cool because you can just, well, they don't move that much. Even if they move just a little bit, you can still kind of hold where it is and trim it up. He is so over my shenanigans. Come on, buddy. Oh no. I know, you love your mama. Let me just make sure I don't leave you crooked, okay? And in the beginning, it's I mean, so many times. I think I have a video with Stormy where it's just, it takes a whole lot longer than it does once they're kind of used to it. Because they want to move and they don't want to look at something or they don't like the sound of something. But as you just continue to correct them, then they get used to it and then they start staying more still. So you have a hair sticking out there. How about if you look at me? Does that work? Huh? So I can clean up your mustache. Excuse me. Sit. Good. Your face is pretty straight. I just want to look at it. That's pretty straight. For the legs, I'll start with his back because I'm just kind of gonna take out like this bulk, so I'm just gonna brush it up so I can easily blend it into the legs. So then I'm just gonna take my scissor and I'm just gonna go down the side with it. And I want him to still have nice fluffy legs and not be too skinny, because skinny legs and a fluffy body just doesn't look right. So same thing, I'm just gonna go down and it just kind of cuts it like at an angle where it'll lay a little bit smoother. And then I'll brush it forward this way and then kind of give them a shape. I put my fingers back here so I can see where the little leg is. And the first couple times you groom a puppy, it's not exactly the most even that you're gonna see it eventually, but they'll look nice and cute regardless. Okay, come on, buddy. I know. And then these little hairs here, I'm just gonna go right across. So he doesn't have like this hanging. And I'm just making sure I know where he is so I don't get that. So I still have these long hairs here, you see. So even if you are coordinated enough, you can even just grab and kind of give like a same length like this. Sometimes this is difficult for people, so easy ways to just kind of comb it up and then take out anything that's kind of hanging out like that. You can get a pretty even cut from that.
Good boy, Max.
Good boy, buddy. You're doing a good job. And then around the butt, you're just gonna take your scissors and just kind of trim it off so it's nice and clean around there. And you're just following the contours of their leg.
So generally you're using the clippers for the body, the back, the tummy, and then the paw pads.
Yes.
And so pretty much everywhere else you would use the scissors other than the face around the eyes. You like to use your little ones?
Yeah, typically I like to use the clipper on the eyes and then the ears too. I'll show you in a second with the ears. But he preferred the scissors, so if he's gonna prefer the scissors, then I'll definitely do that for him. That's not a... It takes just a little bit longer and being a little bit more careful, but... And then I like to feel where the leg is so I know where to follow. I always forget to look at the camera. I'm like, Maurice, if you don't help me, they will shut off all the time. I know. It's your fault, we know. You never done nail cutting too? Huh? What do you do with nail cutting? Have y'all trimmed their nails or do you take those
I
back?
trim them, but it takes me a while.
So then wherever I just see anything like kind of hanging out that's not what I want it to be, this is like really long hair. And then we're just kind of evening out the body is really what we do. So when you do these scissor cuts here, you can go in with the comb and evening it out and kind of blending it like that. That gives you a really nice blended look. But the easier method, especially in the beginning, because they're just not gonna sit there for all the scissoring, is I just take my clipper and then I'm gonna run it again with that same comb that we've been using. And now you'll run it into the legs. So you can get a blended, it just blends it into them pretty well. So it's a nice, easy method that I usually recommend for people just kind of starting out. And then I'm just going into his belly. Because what happens with the scissor is you get a really nice straight line and you can really see it. So when the clipper goes over, it kind of cuts it a little less straight, if that makes sense. So it looks a lot more natural. Yeah. What? Push them out and down. And then you're gonna angle your scissor out like this. And their paws are pretty round already. So I'm just gonna clean up anything that's kind of sticking out a little too far. And you just wanna know where their little nails are, because you don't want to, it's not going to hurt the nail, but your scissors will stop it. But you just kind of want to hang an angle like this, hold an angle like this, because it'll give you like a shoe kind of look. It hangs out and over instead of like an up and down straight look. And like I said, those are pretty round already, so you're just going to kind of clean them up so they look nice and shaped. There we go. And then for the back ones, all I do is I stand them up like this. So I can see really well. And that's it. I'm just shaping them. Yeah, that's my whole ear. You're gonna stick your whole tongue in there. I don't know if I see any little stragglers. I just kind of cut those off. Oh, I know. I'll give you a little break, okay? You're so soft. You're so soft. You know that? You're so soft. Yeah. Let's do the other paw. That works too. I can still get you. I can still get you. Stand up big and tall, buddy. Nice and tall, nice and tall. That's good job. I will have smudges on my gloves. You keep getting me in the mouth. What is this? Let's trim this off because I don't know what that is. Okay. That's pretty good. You're sick and tired of me, so I'm not going to sit here and try to get you absolutely perfect because I'm nervous. Okay, and then for the ears, we'll see if he lets me do it. They're not bad, so I'll be okay if they don't get trimmed. But all I do is I take this and any of the hair that's kind of sticking out, I hold the ear. This one? Which ear do you want? Me? You gonna look at me? And then any hair that's just kind of in the way, I'm just gonna kind of trim it off. Yeah, but really, I'm not touching the ear, but I'm just going right next to it to take off any hair that's just kind of hanging out. Yeah, he's done. I'm not going to bother him because it's not too terribly long. Next time we can definitely get it and make sure we do because it's still a nice short length. It's not overly grown out. But I just like to shave it off so I can see into the ear and then I can see easier if there's any like little hairballs that end up in there. So typically it can, you can take it shorter too if you want, but typically I like wherever their jaw is, just a hair over that, and it gives them that kind of scruffy look still.
Yeah, okay.
But if you want it shorter, you can definitely go shorter. We can do like, some people do like a rounded puppy cut.
That's with clippers or scissors?
That's usually with scissors, yeah.
Okay.
He's just kind of not, we can do that the next time. He's just,
yeah, it's totally
this is
fine.
still just trying to grow out. So once it grows out a little more evenly, I like this part here to grow down to here. So they have like a nice smooth, kind of like the pictures of my dogs that I showed. He's just not there yet. This is more even with here. So it gives him more like a rounded look. All right, buddy. Nail trim, that's it. Cause I hear you clacking. You're doing a good job, buddy. Good boy. Okay, just don't fall off, okay? And I don't know if you've seen my nail trimming video, but I have one where it's kind of like a dot test, but his I can kind of see where some of his are white, so it's a lot easier when they're white. Most nail clippers have these little guards on them. But I wouldn't, especially on puppies, I wouldn't trust them as a perfect gauge because yeah, you're good at nail trimmings. And you see at the end like they kind of calm down too because they're just like, okay, why does this take forever? I'm just gonna give you a bang, all right? So I'm just chopping pretty short to where it stands by itself. I know you want peaches, we know. Right here. Right here, it's one little hair. Just let me get that. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now your eyes will see a little bit better. There we goes.
Yay! Good boy, Maxwell.
Handsome.
Good boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Good job, buddy.